Lieutenant. Lieutenant. Okay, call this regular session to order. Wednesday, April 18th, regular work session, or regular session. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we're going to start off with the swearing in of a new police officer, Elijah Merquin. Did I say that right, Elijah? Merquin. Okay.
In the right spot. You're good to, yeah, no pressure. You're good to go.
If you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Elijah W. Merklin,
I, Elijah W. McClung,
being duly sworn,
being duly sworn,
depose and say
depose and say
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the laws thereof, and will faithfully perform
and will faithfully perform
the duties of police officer
the duties of police officer
of the City of St. Lawrence, Oregon,
of the City of St. Lawrence, Oregon,
to the best of my ability and understanding
to the best of my ability and understanding
during my term of office.
during my term of office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Perfect.
So Mayor and Council, his father is gonna pin his badge on his shirt.
Nice.
This is his wife and his 6-week-old baby boy.
Nice. Hold on.
Well,
Oh, let's get a group picture.
always more pictures.
One more. Perfect.
We're on meet and greet.
Elijah.
Welcome aboard.
Yep. Proud papa moment there, huh? Proud papa moment there. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do visitor comments.
We get Terry back in here for a minute.
Chief Moss, can we get you in here for just a minute, please?
Maybe it's what you're gonna do.
Just wanting to have a word with you for just a sec.
Hot seat?
Yep. Well, right up here.
Like a big setup?
You're good. You're really, that's good detective work.
Back in camera. Really? What we doing?
Nothing, we just wanted to, we haven't, as a body, that we took a shortcut off of council reports. And we did not get a chance to appreciate you and all your outreach to youth in this community. And, you know, you've told so many stories about all of the training you've gotten and how much you want to do to change the youth and the young people and the future of this community. And we all wish we could have been there to cheer you on. And this is our first opportunity to really recognize you. And we talked to the youth council and they really wanted to recognize you in an official way. And so they would like to recognize you, shake your hand, pose for a picture, and say thanks for all you do to make this community a better place.
So the backstory on that, people,
Come on.
Chief Moss won an award down in Bend at the state level for working with our youth.
I've tried over the last couple of days. To the microphone. I've tried over the last couple of days to sort of deflect some of this. There's always a yeah, but. And now what I'm getting at is, yeah, but. I work with some really, really cool people that have done tremendous work. And starts right here with Crystal. That whole thing we did last Christmas, she gets a lot of credit for that. Melinda and Joe and everybody that I work
Yeah,
with.
you
I
can,
know, yeah, but.
you can slough it off.
Yeah.
But it really does.
They'll get their turn.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your leadership we just can't give you a big enough thank you. Come on.
All right, you got to get up here and get some
They want a
pictures. You got to
picture.
get over here.
They want a picture.
Hot seat.
Kaylee, can you come over in this side and put the chief in the middle? There you go.
Not in front of your face.
Not in front of your face.
All right.
Yes.
You can.
Now you can go do what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to open it up for visitor comments. Come on down.
Come on up.
Yep. State your name for the record, please.
My name is Destiny Ryder. I am a community member. Sorry, that was just really awesome.
It was.
I kid, it's one of the kids that has actually benefited from him, so sorry. It really sucks having to go after that. I just want to say that. So, yes. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Destiny Ryder. I'm a community member and a Shedco board member. I have a couple of clarifications and one concern that I just wanted to bring before the board. First off, I actually want to thank you guys for the event that you have been putting on for the last few years. It's amazing. There's absolutely no doubt that the hard work and everything that has been put in to it by every single one of you there's nothing anybody can say about it. It would not be where it is now without all of you and the work you've put into it. As everyone is well aware of now, there has been some discontention and disconnect between Shedco and the city council. I want to fix it. I don't like it. I don't like being at odds. I don't like fighting. I got into Shedco for a reason, and I want that reason to matter. And all of the disconnect is not the reason I got into it. So the two clarifications that I would like to make is I would like to know what rule did Shedco break so that we can avoid breaking it in the future, and what can we do to cohesively move forward to work together. My concern is if we don't figure it out, the community is not going to benefit, because I don't want to lose out on what could be with anything coming in the future, with any celebrity that's coming in the future. I don't want any of us to lose it. And my concern is we are not portraying the best of us that we could be to the outside world. And that's causing some problems, and I don't want it to hurt all of us. So I am here asking and ready to listen, what can we do to bridge the gap?
I think you have good people on Shedco. I think they're intelligent, they're creative, and they're imaginative. And if you can use those components to read the mission and figure out how you can best fulfill the mission, you're there. And,
Okay.
And so, you'll have as much backing as possible from this council.
Okay.
If you stay to the mission and read it, interpret it, say, how can we best serve St. Helens following our mission.
Okay.
That's my point. I mean,
No, and
person,
I appreciate it.
so
Yeah.
everyone might have a
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen you before today, but literally every member of this council, I don't know about the mayor, but everybody, I mean, Keith spent time on Chetco. I was on Chetco for 3 years. Susan did hers. We believe in Main Street. We believe in reaching out to local business and supporting local business. But we have to be fair and make everybody play by the same system.
Right.
And that's all. So like when you want to do something, you just follow the process. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. Just like if you and your neighbor got 2 different treatment from the city,
Yep.
you wouldn't think that was fair. And it's
Right.
like if you have one business playing by the rules and another business not. And that's, in a nutshell, without passion over the last 3 years, that's
Right.
that's
Can I-
the deal.
So
I-
here's one thing you should understand a little bit of history too, is that we have asked this, and Shedco has had the opportunity to sit right there, and it was in the July meeting, and it was asked just to report to the council because there was a disconnect between Tina and them. So it was just to report to the council. Well, none of it matters. All the emails don't matter. I never got one email. This council never got one email from Shedco about what was going on last year. You're stepping into this, and I feel sorry for you that you're not probably completely informed. And I have been going to Shedco since November. I missed the last meeting. I had other arrangements, as you all well know. But the bottom line is we asked for them to submit us something, and we said we are more than likely going to approve it. It never happened. We found out via Facebook. I don't care what the emails to other people. I don't care about that. I never got an email. My city administrator never got an email. Nobody in the city got the email, and they showed up at our meeting asking us to do some things. We said, submit it. Let's look at it. We're more likely going to approve it. And then, so
That's fair.
Okay.
I do want to clarify something really quick. I may not have been out and about, but I've actually been the secretary of Shedco for 2 years. So I do know a lot of what
were you
has
at the
happened.
July meeting? I know
I-
Gretchen was.
I actually was not at the July meeting, but I have been at multiple meetings because I'm the secretary.
Right.
I mean,
had here. They came
yeah.
here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I was not at that meeting. No. But I do, and with all due respect, Rick, I, as the secretary, am the one that has to keep all of the emails and all of the documentation, and you were CC'd on every email. So, and I know that for a fact. So
No,
I
I
don't
was
think it's
CC'd.
fair.
That's
You were
different.
CC'd.
You addressed
on-
me. You addressed me. I don't want to. I don't. The drama
When we're
that's going on,
told to talk
I
to
have a
Tina,
lot
though,
of- that was between Tina and actually, I think at the time there was a lot of emails around Halloween Town, and I have a lot going on in this city. If it's addressed to personally
believe that.
me from Shedco, I'm going to look at it.
So is that what,
I'm gonna
would
be
that
thinking
have,
something? I'm more than likely to say that. Well, this person, I don't know what's going on. You know.
okay, so in the future, would it be more helpful if we did directly reach out to you guys? Because I want to do what you guys want us to do. I was under the
There was-
impression last year that Tina was the person we were supposed to reach out to, and then it was Stephanie. And so I don't care who it is.
I would.
I just
encourage
wanna
you
know
get
who
an
it is.
Audio tape of the July 19th meeting, an audio, because I know Kathy does a pretty good job with the minutes. But
Okay.
you will listen in that audio exactly what I said, what I just said right here. Is that give us something, submit it.
Okay.
More than likely, we are going to approve it.
Okay.
Nothing was
We were
submitted.
expecting them to come back, not.
Okay. No, now I understand the disconnect because we were
But that's
expecting
what
that
we
we
always
just
do
needed
this
to
way.
submit it to Tina. So now I totally actually understand the biggest part of the disconnect.
When you see it go live,
So, okay.
real time on Facebook, and you had no idea, that's a
See,
whole
and that,
surprise.
and I do hear what you're saying, and that's why I actually was a little bit upset
So-
because there are emails,
So
and
then-
I
then-
appreciate that you were
then in our
CC'd on them.
Then in our defense, I'm going to say this. When you talk about a movie star or something, we're thinking, oh, yeah, go ahead and try to get somebody. Don't realize, if if I book Waylon Jennings for a concert, and then you book in 2 weeks later in the same area, you're competing against me.
And I get that, but
Well-
from our standpoint, if we ask you if we can do something with you and you
If
tell
it's-
us no, go do it yourself,
No.
then we feel like
No,
we're
you're not
supposed
getting
to
what
go
I'm
do it
saying.
ourselves.
We didn't understand that you were going after what we had already acquired 2 years prior, the city had. So I do Vernon
Okay.
Jennings 2 years in a row, and the third year you decide you're gonna book him.
The night before our concert.
Yeah.
So, and I get
And put
that.
tickets out cheaper and try to beat our, you're gonna compete against us is what you're gonna do.
Well, and I get that point. To
I
our
don't think many people do.
but I do. And to our point, my biggest deal last year, the reason I wanted to do the event that we did was because, and I'll be completely frank, I am one of the poorer families in this community. My kids are the ones that watch from the sidelines. Okay? And my kids are not the only ones. It was really important to me to involve the lower income part of our community because they deserve that chance too. Just because we don't have $150 for a ticket doesn't mean we don't deserve time,
I don't
real
think they were-
time. And I don't mean a walk by, shake a hand for $25. I mean real
that's what they were.
time to be able to
That's what we
sit
offered.
down. Exactly.
That's what we offer.
And I don't think that's
You've
enough.
She did actually a pretty good meet and greet. I watched what was happening. I didn't partake.
And
But
I'm
she
not
actually-
saying anything against that. That's great. But coming from somebody who is poor, watching the 5 minutes you walk by and you handshake, and then watching the people with $160 get to spend 2 hours, it doesn't really seem fair. So I'm just saying, for me, my main goal was I wanted to involve a part of the community that I didn't feel was being involved enough.
I feel you.
And
know
I-
exactly what you're saying.
I
I don't make a lot of money either.
Right, and I know that it needs to make money. Every events need to make money. That's the point, right? I mean, why are we bringing all these people into the community? Because we want our community to make money. But there's also another class of citizens that deserve to be involved, whether they can contribute a whole
So-
bunch of money or not.
You know that's why we've had 13 nights for the last
Yes,
13
and I
years.
absolutely, my kids and I are ones that go and enjoy it. I respect everything that you guys have done.
And the piano
I
player,
really just want to fix this because going
the
forward,
lighting, the piano guy was awesome.
Right.
That whole thing was free. That whole thing was free. If you happen to be the ones that were
Not
the
taking
closest,
away
you
from
got
any
a
of
pretty
that.
good view.
not at all,
You know,
because that's all amazing.
That event definitely offers. I think you're not seeing the whole. In my opinion, I think a lot of people are not seeing the whole picture as what this,
Maybe.
what the city, why the city has to control this.
So-
This aspect is ours. It's on tourism dollars. We're bringing in people from outside the area. We had a whole triage of people back behind the courthouse that nobody ever even knew about that have been going on and planning for months prior to this. We spent, and I don't even know the amount because I'm not in the loop either.
Right.
Because it's all confidential when you're dealing with movie stars. But I know we spent a chunk of change getting that movie star here in the first place.
Right. No, and I know she's probably not cheap. And
then we-
those are some of the things Shedco could contribute to.
And th-
Marketing, getting the word out.
I know.
We want to do that.
I know we had Buck Tupper working. We had Bob Johnston. We had Terry. We had Joe. We had. I can go.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that either.
No, these are guys that were behind the scenes that you never knew was there for security. It takes a lot to do an event like this.
I agree.
The whole team makes this happen.
And then-
To us, to most people, it feels like you're kind of
Mike.
taking a shortcut, and that's kind of the
Okay.
play by the rules thing, because it demeans
Yes,
the people
that's a
that
good
paid. People,
way
if I
about
paid $100 and I squeezed my money together to make a dream happen for my daughter, and it's like I don't know about your event, and it's like somebody else gets the exact same experience for $20. How's that fair for the $100 ticket holder? It needs to be fair and equitable because as city councilors, we're the government. We're not a nonprofit that just disappears when the event is over. We're
Right.
accountable.
So is there a way,
It's got to be fair. And we'd like Shedco to do their mission. And their mission is Main Street. Their mission is not celebrity appearances.
well, just to be
Their
fair,
mission is not to compete
last year the
with
merchants
event.
came to us and asked us to be a voice for them and get them more involved. We tried, notably maybe not in the best way, but we tried to get them more involved. So my personal goal was bringing in the low income. Shedco's goal was the merchants having more to do with it. So that is why we got more involved in the way that we did last year. Shedco is not and has never been in the event planning. We like doing some little events, but we don't want to be event planners. However, we do want our merchants involved on a bigger level, and we do want more effort made to include low income families.
So what I could
So if we can back off of planning events, can we come to some agreement to try and make those things happen?
So what's going on right now with us as far as that event, so you know, is that's why we all ended up there, because we want to see how she is dealing with vendors. And there is no closed door on any of our businesses, merchants. There is a little bit of, we don't want you competing, so you need to come up with a unique idea, because we'd like to have everybody have their own thing so they can make money at it.
Okay.
Okay, which makes sense, kind
We
of
have
like the
some
Wailing
ideas,
Jennings,
actually.
kind of like the
Yeah.
Wailing Jennings thing, you know.
No, I like
only
that. We
one
have some
Wailing,
actually different
only If
ideas
you want to do
that-
Garth Brooks or, well, not even country, let's go rock and roll or something.
Well, but I mean,
Let's do
something-
this.
it's like if the city's doing one thing, you can do something else.
Okay.
You know, it's like to not compete directly. It's like opening a lemonade stand next to my lemonade stand. It's like, you know, do your own thing. And it's
Okay.
like, it just, and play by the same rules that everybody else in this community is playing by.
Fair enough. Can we make more of an effort to, I love the part about the merchants letting them do like different things, but can we make more of an effort to really involve lower income families?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And you've offered, if you want to come talk to me anytime. I'm,
absolutely.
I mean,
Doors
Keith,
open.
how long have you served on CAT?
I don't know, 6, 7 years, something like that.
I mean, Keith is a leading for helping CAT get funding, helping CAT serve the low-income people in this
Cool.
community. He does
And
it
I
on
would
his
love
own,
to talk to you more,
so.
My
And I
kids were
appreciate your time.
pre-introduced lunch, kids too.
right?
Yeah.
It that is our community. I mean, the majority of our community is not, we're not rich. We don't want to be rich. We want to be who we are.
Yep.
We like who we are. We're people who work hard for everything that we have.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
The main thing is communication.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, would you guys be open to me coming to more meetings and
Absolutely, this meeting's
Okay.
always open.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
meeting is always open to anybody.
okay? Well, then
Let's
maybe
get
I'll
that
start
straight right now.
making monthly stops just to kind of communicate some more.
Okay.
We do actually have some ideas we would love to discuss, so
Like I
that
say,
are not competing. I promise.
Yeah. it's
That
just,
is
I
not
think
what
we're-
that
we're-
was never our intention, and I do
Yeah.
apologize if that is how.
And a lot of times you have to go through the permit process, but we don't, most of the time for a nonprofit, we kind
We
of
try to
just.
work stuff out.
Yes, we try doing that. Trust me, we do.
and bounce things off of me. I can tell you if it's going to work or not work.
We're not scary people. We are just like you.
Okay,
Okay?
so let's get.
We're
We're
sitting up here on the podium. I know, but that's totally different. So,
Oh, I've been up there too. Trust me, you can. You can have it.
okay.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thanks.
Any other visitor comments out there? No? Okay. Ordinance final reading. Ordinance number 3222. An ordinance vacating a portion of North First Street right-of-way and reserving public utility and construction easement.
Move we adopt ordinance number 3222.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance number 3222. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Ordinance first reading. Ordinance number 3227, an ordinance to amend the City of St. Helens zone district map to add a planned development overlay zone for certain property. Okay, appointments to city boards and commissions. Who do we have?
Arts and Cultural has,
Patrick Nicholson,
yes, thank you, Patrick Nicholson.
motion.
I move we accept the recommendation of Arts and Cultural and appoint Patrick Nicholson to the Arts and Cultural Commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve Patrick Nicholson to the Arts and Cultural Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay. Consent agenda for acceptance. A, Parks Commission minutes dated February 12th, 2018. B, Library Board minutes dated November 27th, 2017. C, Planning Commission minutes dated March 13th, 2018.
Move we approve consent agenda for acceptance A through C as read.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve a consent agenda A through C. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay, consent agenda for approval. Accounts payable bill list.
Move we approve consent agenda 9A.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 9A. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so very interesting meeting earlier, you know. I walked away after that and I let it resonate and sink in a little bit. And I was just thinking, you know, I'm glad that people are getting involved in tourism, that Columbia County's awakening, that there's possibilities of doing something there. But I was also blown away. You know, that's the first time in my year and 4 months that I've had Chuck Daughtry give me something of quality like that. And I thought, wow, you know, he really rallied the troops, and I haven't seen that, and I'm just a little blown away by that, and I hope that I'm going to reach out, and I will, to Chuck and let him know that, man, we need some love here in St. Helens. We need some love. I don't know what that requires. I know that we do. That's what the money's there for. That's what we give money for. And because we need an industry, and it's coming back on us, folks, this council as a whole. I don't care how much you like a guy. If he ain't doing his job, it comes back on us. When business leaves, I see typical St. Helens, typical city of St. Helens. Just doesn't even care. And that's not true. And you know that, and I know that. So, I just had to, it really hit me after I left this meeting. I'm just thinking, God, why am I so disturbed by that? And I just have to, I'm one of those type of guys that when something strikes me like that, I have to vent and I have to share it. And sometimes I'm not afraid to do it publicly. And this is one of those cases. So that's what I had to report on. Councilor President Morton.
Well, we had a great Parks Commission, really a good, very effective Parks Commission meeting last Monday, and I passed out a note to you folks earlier. I don't know if you still have it or not, but it is an explanation from Howard Blumenthal and Carolyn Skinner, who oversees Nob Hill Nature Park. And they were responding to a bit of homework I asked them to accomplish. And Howard and Carolyn came back with this. It's a really good document explaining what Friends of means in our parks scheme of things. So what I'm asking the council permission for is to ask staff to look at this and refine it so that we have in our master plan a definition of what Friends of entails to our parks and to our Parks Commission, because anyone can be a friend of any park at this point, and they just call it that. But these two, Carolyn and Howard, have started a real authentic Friends of group, and so they've come forward with what they do, and I think it's very much worth exploring and working through. So if I could have permission from the council to ask either Jan or the staff to look this over and work through it, and define what Friends of it would be. I'd be a great concern to me. Am I okay with that?
I would like to look at it. I haven't. I'm sorry. I
I
apologize.
haven't read
There you
it yet
go.
either.
Yeah, I think to refine it and make it more universal would be perfect. Because it's very personal, and to make it more government-like. So then when people go, how do I be a Friends of? What does that mean to be a Friends of? That there'd be a definition.
Have a definition.
Or how to start one?
Right, how to do that.
And
Yeah.
I just thought, and this always kind of always this way with Howard, that they need to make sure that it's embedded in there that they communicate with the city very thoroughly what they're going to do and their plans and everything they do to the parks, so that I know they like taking ownership of things, but sometimes they do things and then either we can't undo them or whatever the case would be. So just want to make sure that
City staff
everything
knows
is
what's going on.
clear what's done.
When I agree, I think we need to take this and craft a more universal definition
Right.
and instructions on how to become one.
Good. Good. Yeah, and I do agree with you, Keith, about limitations and where the parameters are, and especially in terms of enforcement, because Friends of can go out there and be vigilantes. It's just kind of like, without a doubt, set up traps and all kinds of other things. So we don't want that. Anyway, is that fine?
Perfect.
Yeah, let's-
I'd like to see that in the master plan as an addendum. So we'll give the staff some time to mull this over
I had a chance to read that. I like that.
and work with it.
Yeah, I like that.
Let me recap what else happened here. Recommendations from the last Parks Commission meeting. They voted to recommend that the council, they integrate the Parks and Bicycle Pedestrian Commissions as long as there are 3 remaining B&P members were okay with the meeting a regularly scheduled Parks and Commission meeting times, which was the second Monday of each numbered months at 4 p.m. Now, that's changed a little because I talked with Kathy Payne, our city recorder, and she suggested that we go 2 individuals from the Parks and Commission's meeting to work with 2 from the Bicycle and Pedestrian group to work with the Parks Commission, so that it stays an odd number. If we went 3, it would go to an even number, and we'd like to stay at an odd number. So there is one person who can't make those meetings anyway, and that's Paul Barlow, but he could be a kind of an ad hoc member if we wish to do
an
something
alternate.
like that. It would
Yeah.
be great. So that's one of the recommendations to recommend to the council. We already talked briefly about that, but the commission is all in. They like it. And so hopefully we can move forward with that.
So I should probably take that back to the bicycle and pedestrian then. And
Are you guys still meeting? Or can you call them up and just make certain that those 2 individuals know?
we do meet occasionally, yes. So
Okay. Occasionally, that's the... When you see them on a bicycle path, well,
no, they
And-
they actually have their annual helmet giveaway coming up here, and they go to the schools to the 5th graders,
and when would that be?
and I think next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got to make that happen then. So that hasn't happened in terms of getting a hold of them and saying, hey, our commission has collapsed and we want to go and we want to take it over and be part of the Parks Commission.
We talked
And-
about them joining, yes, and they approved. I mean, they were okay with that, but so now.
Okay, the Parks Commission is okay with it.
Yeah.
And I think the council's okay with it because we talked about it before. So let's move forward with it. Okay.
So it requires code amendments, so John and I will work on an ordinance to try to
meld some of the things that come with the Bicycle and Pedestrian Commission into the Parks Commission.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much. They also recommended to the council that the Parks Commission works with the Arts and Cultural Commission on painting picnic tables on the 4th of July painting activity, on having one table anyone can paint and someone can monitor to make certain it's appropriately painted and all of that. They kind of got into who's going to oversee this, and my response was, well, the Arts and Culture already has with the trash can paintings, and it's a very popular activity. It's got a lot of enthusiasm, so they recommended to go with the picnic tables. And if the council's okay, we could recommend a staff to Public Works to have to work with Arts and Cultural to facilitate how many ever tables they need. Okay, rather than trash cans.
But from Arts and Cultural, we discussed it, and we were thinking that 4th of July might not be the best time to be painting picnic tables because people are going to be wanting to have picnics on picnic tables and utilize them.
That was Thad's idea, and Thad, basically, I think the Parks Commission looked at Thad and says, "It's time to roll up your sleeves and move some tables, Thad." So
I
that's
think-
basically.
But I'm not sure that Arts and Cultural.
Oh, well, then I was misled because I asked twice, and it was a positive kind of.
It was you
and
had
you're
a
bringing this up
positive
now?
reaction to it initially, but then when we talked about it at the last meeting,
Okay.
they're not sure that that's the direction that they want to go. Maybe
We just talked about the fact that, the idea of decorating them I think has a lot of merit, but I think the concern was that because a lot of times they come over and get the picnic tables that are in the library courtyard and get them down to the waterfront because they're needed. And so the question was asked, is this the best time to be painting them if they're going to be in use? I think it's very possible we could look at another time to do that.
I think if we were in a discussion at our Arts and Culture, or at the Parks Commission, that there has been, I believe, 12 new tables ordered.
I think more than that.
18.
I don't recall the exact number, but they're in the process of ordering. They ordered the frames and they're going to get the lumber and put some. So they're going to have a whole batch of brand spanking new tables that are going to need to be painted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Raw lumber.
That was the whole idea behind doing this from my point of view, knowing that those were coming in. And didn't I share that information with Arts and Culture when I presented that there'll be more than adequate tables?
No, I don't think we understood that there were going to be an abundance of tables. I think we understood it was a competition that was intended to replace the trash can competition, that it would be a new way to phase out making the trash cans a competition and making the picnic tables instead. And I don't think they were quite ready this year to give up the trash can competition because they still had an inventory of some that they wanted to work through. But I didn't get a clear sense at all in any conversations I've had that there were going to be enough picnic tables that we could have painted tables on the occasion when we thought people would be needing them in the parks. I didn't realize that they were in addition. I thought they were replacement tables. So
Okay.
we can,
We hear you. Okay. The Parks Commission, it can be easier that way. We won't need to move them. The whole thing's off. Is that how I hear it?
I think that there's still some room for discussing it. I just think that everybody was just of the opinion that 4th of July might not be the right time to have wet tables. So that was the concern. If it's not an issue, then I think it certainly can be revisited.
So part of the discussion I would be, because a picnic table is a lot larger
yes.
than a can. Maybe a team or 3 people or 4 people could work on a table, and that way we're not tying up many tables, but only because you did quite a few trash cans last year, right?
I think over a dozen.
I think that they probably are only going to do, was it 10, Susan?
Yeah, I think so. They have some ideas for kind of doing some recycling on trash cans, so we're not accumulating as many.
These
Yeah.
something we're gonna have to primer prior to them doing their paint. Probably.
So,
Well, they prime the trash cans. We do that on a weekend before
Yes.
Arts and
the,
culture.
Okay.
the event.
Yes, because they need time to.
But they're easy. I mean, they're easy to transport.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
So, I don't know. If the Parks Commission has some people that want to come work with the Arts and Culture on working out the logistics, we can certainly do that.
The
But I-
logistics of what?
How a picnic table event happens. With the trash can painting, they actually have categories that they award prizes in, and they have, you know, those big checks made out so they can present checks to the winners. And
Different categories.
actually, Doug, one of the things that was discussed was that one of the Arts and Cultural Commission projects that's going on right now is a collaboration with the 4-H. And they have a mural painting workshop that's going to paint a mural over by the old school. And so the conversation that actually happened in Arts and Cultural was that maybe after this team of young people do this mural in August, then you've got kind of an army of young people that know all about murals. And because we were thinking that picnic tables, you wouldn't want them wet during the 4th of July, that maybe this team of muralists could be deployed to do the picnic tables in an off season when you didn't need them. I had always envisioned that the picnic tables had a base coat of some kind on, and this was just a decorating event. But it sounds to me like it's an essential painting that needs to happen to protect them.
No.
So maybe.
Well, here we go, Margaret. This was designed, the trash can paintings were thought up to bring the arts and culture group and the parks group together so that they collaboratively, work on a project together.
Mm-hmm.
So now it sounds like you're wanting to know the logistics of what the parks people are doing.
Not necessarily.
No.
I just,
Because, and then, you know, the painting is all about, and the competitions and all that stuff is from the arts and cultural group. But the facilities of getting the picnic tables or getting the trash cans down there and making them available was all part of the parks. And it was art in the parks when it was first thought about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really ever manifested into much other than the trash can paintings and competitions and that kind of thing, and it's very popular. I really like where it's gone. We have got an excess of trash cans in our parks and in our community at this point. The whole idea was, wow, we've got picnic tables to paint. Why not do that? Simple as that.
okay.
It's so simple, and I thought it would work, so I presented it, and if you want to kill it, I think you just have, then so be it.
Well, I'm not sure. I feel that your reaction to what I'm saying is indicative of what I intend. I think we just miscommunicated about what was going to happen with picnic tables on the 4th of July. I don't feel like I've killed anything, Doug.
No,
I'm
but
just,
that's
I'm
a
reporting
It can
to
still
you
be
what
a-
the discussion was.
It can still be a joint project, but at a different time.
Well, okay.
I don't have any kind of negative intention.
Okay.
I'm just reporting what the discussion was.
Okay.
And the Arts and Cultural Commission recognizes that there are a lot of trash cans that need to be recycled, and they want to see the most recent ones out in the parks. And they understand there's been a situation where there's been a surplus, but they also realize that the ones that were painted and got anti-graffiti coating on them can't be painted over again. So they essentially need to just go away. And so one of the commissioners went around to all of the parks and even over to the Parks Department and inventoried everything that's there. And they were suggesting that they come up with a plan where there's a certain number of years that a can is out there and then it gets pulled and you put the newest ones out. And so they wanted to have like maybe a total of 36 cans. They make 12 new each year and take 12 away. And so they're working on this idea of keeping the freshest ones out there and not using the old ones. They've even talked about not putting the coating on them so that they can actually be repainted if they're still in, of good integrity. So we have, actually, Doug, we have a commission of 7 commissioners, and 6 of them are essentially brand new. And so we're kind of finding our way with a lot of the projects that we're doing. We have some really strong members, but all of them, with the exception of Kanika, are really less than a year with the commission and really trying to find their way. So I guess I just say that, we've got a lot of learning that we're all doing about how these projects happen, and virtually everybody is doing a project in some cases for the very first time. So I just would ask that you kind of be patient with us while we find our way with these new commissioners that we're training. And I think some of these projects are kind of being reimagined, and if it's appropriate for them to do some picnic tables this year, we'll find a way. But I think that they're trying to keep things in a bite-sized project.
Okay. I hearing that, I think it's a bad idea to go forward with this, and I'll report back to the Parks Commission and tell them that possibly it isn't going to work. Because the ball's in your court now, I believe, to organize this in terms of what you need from the Parks Commission. We've offered ours up, and you're saying, no, not the right date, no, maybe not the tables. I'm not certain what it is, but if this isn't good enough, that's fine. We'll revisit it in 2 months on the Parks Commission. I'll report to them. And by then, they might get back to you by 4th of July or August or September, the way things work that way. So that's why I said it sounds like it's killed.
If it's going to be a collaborative,
in terms of time.
if something's going to be a collaborative effort, it's something that both parties are involved in deciding. So
That's why I went to the Parks Commission, and I went
surprised that
and I
you're offended.
testified, and I said, "What do you guys think?" It was very positive, and so I brought it back. I brought that back to the Parks Commission, saying that the Arts and Cultural is all for this. What do you guys think? We mulled it over. They were all for it, and so that's what I presented tonight. And I'm getting pushback from it, so I go, okay, I'll take it back to the Parks Commission then. Because I'm not solving the thing. You're bringing up concerns with the Arts and Cultural Commission, so maybe you can solve that.
It's definitely.
we're working on it.
I'm hearing both sides, and it's definitely not personal. I mean, it's just you guys are where you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, going on then. The Parks Commission voted to recommend to the council that Andrew Nemi and Brad Hendrickson move forward on a proposal for camping, maintenance, and shuttle agreement for Sand Island. So they want to see that move forward and recommend to the council that we listen to that proposal and work forward with it. So I believe they're on the next agenda of our next meeting to be here and present their proposal. So it's kind of a, if we want to cancel that out, we can, but I took the initiation to put them on the council agenda, and so that's.
I would just like a heads up from now on. You know, if you're letting Chuck or those guys, you know, I'd like a heads up, like you would have liked the heads up for Steve Topaz.
Just happened.
Okay,
So
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, okay, so
Right.
it just happened, so that's why I'm telling you now, so.
No, I support that idea. I'd like to see where it goes.
Okay. Any other comments?
No, or, yes, is it my turn?
No,
I want-
no, it's, any other comments for Doug?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, Councilor Khan.
No, I'm not finished.
Okay.
Okay, so we're okay with that, all right? All right, I'm having a hard time tonight, I think. Okay. They also voted to recommend that the council move forward in approving a plan for Veterans Memorial expansion with future approval of relocating current materials, and that's the relocation would be, in particular, the Blue Star Memorial that sits in between those monuments. That's the one thing that hasn't been decided of where that's going to go. So they recommended that that the council direct Public Works and staff to go forward with that. Okay. Any problems with that?
No problems with that at all.
No, Arts and Cultural supported it.
I know, it was
Okay.
great. They also voted to recommend to the council that the city change the Eisenschmidt pool for true costs of the water. So that was discussed today, I believe, and so the parks recommend, they kind of weighed in on that. And that's it. Basically, that's what the Parks Commission was a pretty busy day working with, actually, I think the meeting lasted 2 hours. I got a lot done that way. And so, thanks. That's my report.
Thanks, Doug. Councilor Khan.
I want to go back to something we can all agree on. We all know that the community owes Terry a vote of thanks for all of the things that he's done in our community. It was, I want to note that the award that he got was one of 2 given in the evening, and it was by a group of his peers from the Oregon Association of Police Chiefs. And it was very cool to be in a room full of police chiefs from all over Oregon and have our own recognized for the things that he does. So I'm very proud of you. And glad I could be there. Now I have a request. Next week is CIT training and I need snack money. Could I please have $400 out of council funds for snacks for the training?
I'm okay with that.
It's all good.
Okay.
So moved.
I think we just get a head nod on that budget amount. 400, yes.
Okay. And that's all I have.
All right. Councilor Carlson.
I'm used to it being Keith first. I just, I know that Keith Moss always says, but this, but the team, but it does take great leaders. And, I know I've said this before, but Kaylee attended that law enforcement camp last summer. And it's probably one of the most joyful times of her teenage years. And it's like, law enforcement in our community does more than write tickets and arrest people. They're inspiration, they're role models, they're mentors. And your leadership I only hear awesome stories about our police force. And that's due in no small part to your leadership and your direction, that you've created a team that we can all be proud of. And it's a pretty special day. And just like Destiny said, it's like when it touches home, it's a big deal. But it's just awesome. And then another cause that's kind of fun and special is I've been walking the last 2 weeks at the parks So I'm sure the Parks Department and Public Works is not happy because I have lots of little notes about things I see at the park. But yeah, I've been Saturday morning. I'm down here at the gazebo waiting for people at 10 a.m. It's a survivors and people affected by cancer. And I do an hour walk every Saturday morning. We walk all of the Veneer property and up over Nob Hill and back, which about kills me. And then Sunday at 6, I'm at McCormick Park and we walk, depending on who's with me, we either walk the hilly side or the flat side. Just getting out there and just spreading the word about, you know, it's not just cancer, just the more studies I do that simple walking that's free and it'll change your life. So it's just, there's a lot of people doing good work in our community, and the more we work together, the stronger we'll be. And, you know, speaking to the Shedco piece and the CCET piece and tourism, it's like there's precious few volunteers in this community, and, you know, all of them are important and all their services make us better. So finding ways to be team and finding ways to work together is always for the betterment of everybody. That's all I have.
Thank you, Janie. Councilor Locke.
So, yeah, kudos to Chief Moss. Congratulations. And I so wanted to be there, and lo and behold, start coming down with a cold that day. I called Doug, see where he's at. He had issues worse than mine. I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, then the snow report comes around, and I'm just going, oh, my gosh. So, anyway.
Okay, I was third choice, but I was
really
very
wanted
happy to be there.
So, anyway, good job. Other than that, just probably going to come up with a list for the mill site. A lot of things that need to be spruced up over there and taken care of. The winter storms have knocked over things and whatnot, so I'll come up with a list. Especially since Neil's not here, I'm sure he'll appreciate it when he sees it. So anyway, I actually talked to him about it yesterday. So anyway, that's all I got.
Thank you, Keith. Youth Councilor David.
So I have two topics I wanted to bring up. So one of the things that we had talked about at our meeting was the Earth Day cleanup that is this coming Saturday, which anyone's invited to come and help. And we're trying to get as many students as we can from the high school to come, because it would be very, very helpful, not just for the community, but just to show how much we care to do better. And one of the other things I wanted to bring up was how thankful we are to Chief Moss for being someone that's there for teens. Because I look around and I don't really see too many people that do that. And I just think that Chief Moss is, as being a youth, that I see him around a lot. Thank you.
That's always been Terry's temperament, too. I mean, he's just good with people. You know, he was my neighbor for a short little while he was building his house. He had to rent a house across the street from me. That's been years ago. Congratulations, Terry. It's your turn to start with the department reports.
I'm sort of speechless. The accolades are great. I really appreciate it. Thank
Cherry
you.
Day.
That Susan and Kathy and others drove all the way over there was, I mean, the award was flattering enough, but that they drove all the way over there was really pretty special. So anyway,
Don't forget through the snow.
yeah, through ice and snow to get there. Thank you.
10 feet of snow, yeah.
I really appreciate it. I'm not. I as much as I want to say yeah, but I won't. But it really is. Well, I'll leave it at that. I'm done. I look forward to the Waylon Jennings concert during Halloween.
I don't have any.
You don't have nothing, Sue? Can't follow that, huh? All right, Margaret.
This Friday and Saturday, the Friends of the Library are having their semi-annual book sale. It'll be from 10 until 5 on Friday, and 10 until 2 on Saturday. And on Saturday, the St. Helens Garden Club will have their semi-annual plant sale on the porch. And they get started a little bit earlier, so they'll start selling at 9 until 2. And the truth is, if there's anybody from the Friends in the building before 10 on Saturday, they probably will open up the doors and start a little before 10. But it looks like we're going to have a lot of books available. They're kind of overflowing. A lot of donations have been coming into the back dock, and we're kind of digging our way around the back offices today, trying to get ready for that sale. So they'll be setting up starting tomorrow, and then officially start on Friday at 10. So come stock up. That's all I have.
Thanks, Margaret. Matt?
I just want to join in the accolades for Terry. It was an honor to be there, and I appreciate the city giving me that time to go. I really enjoy working for the city of St. Helens and the staff that hold themselves to high integrity, and I really appreciate that. That's it.
Thank you, Kathy. John? Nothing further. Okay. Y'all have a good night. This meeting's adjourned. Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
You're dead.
I fell in